Hello, everyone. This is the Children's Mission, see, by the Seventh-day Adventist Church. This story is on the fourth quarter of the year 2024, and the story is aimed towards the date of October 26th. I think that is too coming. So, October 26th. And what is this story about? It's a neat story. It's a really, really neat story. Let me see if we can start. It's called God Loves Siberian Yupiks. I know if I spelled it right. Yupiks. Well, the book says, or the story says, let me get a little close to you guys. It says, great grandmother Hereta had been living her whole life of 92 years on the St. Lawrence River. Can you find that St. Lawrence River island on your map? I believe it's probably up north somewhere. I don't have a map, but that'd be something to look at, you know? And it says here, it is a way up near the North Pole. It is an island located in the Bering Seas, right between U.S. states of Alaska and Russia. That's not where I thought it was. You know, that's Bering Straits up there, you know? There's a little stretch of land across the ocean from, I think, Canada to Russia. Yeah. So it's way up there. Okay. And it says great grandmother, Hereta, lives in Savanga, the largest town on the island. About 830 people, they say, live in this town, and and she is one of them. Boy, that's not very many people. Nearly everyone who lives in Savanga is a Siberian Yupik, and she is also great grandmother Hereta lives in a house with her daughters and granddaughters and great granddaughters. If you visit her house on a summer afternoon, you will see that she is the only person who is awake. More likely than not, you will find great grandmother Areta sitting in the chair at the kitchen table, sipping a glass of water. She loves water. Well, water's good for you, know, sipping water. So you will find her daughter and her granddaughters and great granddaughters sleeping on a mattress on the living room floor. During the summer, the Alaskan sun sets at 2:30 in the morning. Oh, that's a long day. So it is difficult for people to fall asleep at night. As a result, many people go to bed really late and they get up really late. Great grandmother Areta daughters, granddaughters, and great granddaughters go to bed really late and get up really late. But great grandmother, Hereta, is used to the late setting sun. She likes to go to bed early and to get up early. She also likes to take naps. It doesn't bother her that her family is walking around the house while she is sleeping. Her family does mind if she the family doesn't mind if she's walking around the house while they are sleeping. In fact, visitors can walk through the living in the middle of the day and no one will wake up. Boy, there's a sound sleeper. Great grandmother, Hereta, learned about God from her own parents when she was a very little girl. There was only one church in the town at that time, and she went to it every Sunday. She loved going to church. She loved worshiping God because she knew that He takes care of Siberian Yupik people. As great grandmother Greta grew older, the church also grew older. It began to fall apart, and the water dripped down the walls. When the snow melted, finally the church was closed. It sounded like the church needed some help. Unfortunately, and that happens, you know, with old buildings. Meanwhile, the Seventh-day Adventist church opened in town. That was a blessing. Great grandmother Hereta went to the Adventist church a few times before her church closed. The people in the Adventist church welcomed her warmly and decided to keep going there when her church closed. She loved going to church, now on the Sabbath instead of Sunday. She loved worshiping God because she knew that He takes care of Siberian people. He takes care of everybody, everybody. You know that. He takes care of us. Okay. But then, the Adventist pastor left and the Adventist church closed. There was no church in Savannah where great grandmother Loretta could worship. She missed going to church, but she had faith that the church would reopen because she knew God takes care of Siberian epic people. A few years passed. Then an Adventist husband and a wife moved to Savanga and reopened the church. The husband and the wife were retired nurses who came from far, far away in North Carolina. They volunteered to live in Savanga to make sure that the church was open every Sabbath. Great grandmother Hereta was so happy she could go to the church again. She loved going to the church. She loved worshiping God because she knew that He takes care of the Siberian Yupiks people. Then the husband died. Oh boy, always has to be a catastrophe. The husband died, and great grandmother Hereta wondered if the church would close. But the man's wife, Eloise, decided to stay and keep the church open. Several more years passed, and Eloise had some health problems. She had to fly back to North Carolina to get treated by the doctor. The church closed. The town was left without any church again. Great grandmother Herda is praying for Adventist church to reopen. She is praying that God will send Eloise or someone else to Savanga so she can worship God at the church again. She knows God has heard her prayers. She knows that God always takes care of his Siberian Yupiks people. God is so powerful. She said, I always call on him. Pray for Savanga, pray for Alaska, and thank you for your 13th Sabbath offering this quarter that will help share God's love in Alaska. They need a church, you know. That's sad that they don't have a church up there. And I know God will send one. Well, I hope you like this week's children's mission. And remember, it's put out by the Seventh-day Adventist Church. It looks like this. Okay. I hope to see you next week. May God be with you. Bye.